Alright, so I think we're good to go. Do. Alright. So I actually got into a play earlier. Um, I've been kind of waiting out to see if another one develops or not. Um, we've already gotten in short, market open, now they're dumping it back down. Uh, I kind of, I mean, I got paid, right? But it took a minute to get there because the ATR, I mean, it's still really low. Tomorrow we have some big news coming out tomorrow. FOMC. Today we didn't really have nothing. Um, just a bunch of one star yellow folder stuff. Tomorrow though, like I said, we have the FOMC, we have the funds rate. Uh, this will be a big one. So maybe that's probably the explanation as to why we haven't been having a lot of ATR, while there hasn't been too much momentum. But looking at it, we're projected to have the same fund rate, so no cuts or anything like that, which will also participate in more chop. Uh, we'll see though. Market kind of does what it wants. Has been doing that for the past year, so uh, we go up when everything's supposed to be going down. But as long as we getting in there, we getting money. Fuck it. But just to kind of go over while we wait on another play to develop, I'm currently waiting on another trigger level for a short, but I already have a long. Um, what we're looking at here, so boom, let's see where I had pulled my marking from. Do, do, do. Looks like I pulled this short level from here. That'd be my short trigger. And I would just kind of go over it briefly. We definitely deep dive more into the process and different variables and everything in the 24-week class. But this is kind of like a rough overdraft of a rough overview of kind of what I look for and how I kind of let my play develop. So this is kind of like a trigger level that I use. Um, and then once I do that and I kind of figure out where I'm going, especially after I get something that activates that trigger level, then I'll start looking for my goals, my targets. Don't want to just go into anything blindly, right? So I'll kind of mark out. Oh, wait, tripping. There it is. I'll mark out kind of my targets that I'm looking for and see. I won't be able to see it anymore because it's obviously changed, but this pre-market low was higher, and I use that as one of my. I usually use the pre-market low, overnight low. I'll use those as targets as well. And as you can see, my last target was this overnight low, and they might be trying to tap that. You feel me? But anyways, so I got my target levels, and then I kind of break it down once I go to my little 2 minute, and then I'll go from here. We'll sort of set an entry, stop loss. I like to get everything prepared going into a trade because I don't want to just blindly, not know where I'm going with anything. You really need to have some sort of setup that allows you to let the market come to you. Because if you're just chasing the market all day, every day, it's good luck, brother. Good luck. The market is, this is a very, it's not an easy thing to do by any means. Um, this is a very difficult industry to just get in there and think you're just gonna come in and do something. It does take time. It does take learning the market. There's a lot of influence that goes into this as well. So you just gotta be careful. Look, there's that immediate rejection off that overnight low. So let's see if let me double check my 5 minute real quick. Yeah, I don't have anything going for me yet. I got a lot to retrace. I'm not really looking for any longs until we get kind of back above over here. Yesterday's high and the overnight high and shit. So let's look. So we have our entry, we have our stop loss, and now we're gonna kind of set out our targets. Uh, I usually I do base them off of structure, like you see me go back and see and find, and then this thing's a little dirty right now. I've probably gotta reload it. Let's see. All right. I'll base it off of the ATR. So, for example, if say my entry, I put my entry towards there, but then I go down a couple ticks. And then I also had that level there, so I kind of wanted to test. I entered just a little bit below that. And then also I moved my stop loss to the top of that. Just because it did go up some more and kind of make our stop loss a little bit, but I want to be able to stay over that structure. So if price does get over there, then I know that this trade is toast. But this is a protected stop loss. That's you want something that makes sense, not just blindly placing it wherever. This is the structured stop loss that I'm looking for. So then after that point, what I'll do is, I'll just kind of let the trade play out, literally. And I kind of like how when this does happen, it retraces and it gets me in immediately on that next candle. So that means sellers said, no, 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 we're not doing that. We're not going up. We're going to take this back, right? And then comes the mental game, right? The fun part, especially pre-market when the ATR is low. You gotta just take your hands off and let your trade do what your trade does. Don't force anything. Don't. You can actively monitor it. Sometimes you'll be able to see like, okay, like something like this is about to happen. You can't necessarily predict it, but sometimes some candle structure can give you very strong bullish hints, and you know that, hey, like something like this, dude, like that's a lot of, they try to retrace it. That's a lot of wick. So there's signs, but there wasn't really any strong signs that said, okay, this is not gonna go, right? Um, so we just kind of gotta let it do its thing. So what I do is I take I take partial. Personally, I take partial throughout my. I set 3 TP levels and I take partial. I ended up I ended up only having two. I did not use this one because the pre-market low was sitting right here, and I wanted to give that first target some room to breathe. So I didn't actually use that one. I used this was the pre-market low at the time. So I used that in order to help me, set my 1, 2, 3 targets. It eventually made it back down here, but you can see how much it had to retrace first. And then, especially once I only have like 1 or 2 shares left, I'll hold it through market open. I don't care. Because at this point, I didn't hit my first TP target, and it was a free trade after that. So I'll I would have held this through market if it wouldn't have retested so high. But whatever, I still made 1.63 R. So profit's profit, baby. But that's kind of the overall gist. Like I said, we go deeper into it in the 24-week class, but that's kind of take that. Oh wait, I don't need that. That's kind of the gist of it. Um, there's other variables and everything that helps me do this, helps me kind of decide on what I want, how I want it. But for right now, what it looks like is we're just kind of chilling because, we sort of got our play. We got that one yesterday, but I think I went over that already. And one of the videos, I record all the videos that I do. It's in the recordings tab in Discord, and it goes to my YouTube channel where I'm gonna start trying to upload all of this information. Um, so yeah, check it out. Spread the knowledge. I'm here to help, bro. So right now, what we're looking at is kind of what we're gonna be doing for the day, just to kind of look at a larger time frame. Right now, we are in a pullback area on the Fibonacci sequence. So this can be a good area for a retest to kind of push back up. We are under. Actually, let me move the session view up because I need this to be at the start of the session, right? So we'll say right here once the volume develops. So right now for the session, we are under the VWAP. So we kind of would need to get a little bit back above this to kind of support going long. With the Iran stuff going on, we're probably going to start going long again. Not that we haven't been, but we'll definitely have the news to support going and setting all-time highs now instead of just doing it because. So we'll have to see. Like I said, they may kind of chop this up. They may kind of chop it up for the day, or maybe like sort of gradually come up. Just because we do have FOMC tomorrow, and depending on what that news is, that could, if it's bullish news and it comes back good, then shit, we could go up, up, up in a way. Um, if it's kind of middle of the ground, we could continue to chop, and they'll just kind of play out auction price as they see it. Won't get too many good momentum plays out of it. Or it could be bad, and we could just find somewhere to go down and land. Uh, we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. But we have so far had, we found bottom, and now we're definitely headed back up. So we'll see. But for now, we're kind of just we've kind of found ground, and we're chopping between this POC and this POC. So let's kind of see where it goes and how it does it. This is a good support to keep going up though. We got that level, that overnight high level that we gotta kind of combat with, but not the end of the day, not the end of the world. Let's see what the 4 hour look like. Yeah, hey, see that's what I'm talking about right there. That's that choppy shit where we're kind of in the middle right now. We're not sure where we're going, but they're consolidating. So, like I said, with FOMC being tomorrow, this can potentially be a consolidation day, or they can try and find some support, which I think if they can get us over here, get us above like 31,000, if we can get above 31,000, um, and then retest it, I think that'll definitely be some fuel that'll leave us some room to go for tomorrow, assuming everything's good. And the Iran deal gets done. What is that, the 19th, I think they said? So we'll see. They might chop around because they will try and get us prepared to go set it up. and go for highs, the market makers at least. So we'll kind of see where we're at. Looks like we're kind of dipping down a little bit more. Let's back into another big ass doji. We'll see. I kind of think we'll range personally today because we do have some support right here. Where it rejected. So I think we will probably just chop, but never know. Just kind of take a look and watch it and see how it goes. Oh no. Well, turns out I accidentally muted myself. So, I don't know how much was heard, but we got a new short trigger developed. So, gonna be keeping an eye out on that. Um, we're in this retest range still. Like I said, we kind of do want to go up, but who knows if we do. Um, they've kind of set the tone for a long trend. We had a higher high, we just got a higher low, so and this is on the 5 minute. ATR still rising slowly but surely. Um, so we'll kind of see. We are in this like little choppy range though. Kind of looking for a close, preferably. I mean, if we do get one right here, maybe we'll have some room. Wouldn't be too ideal. Oops. Too ideal, but a close down here would be much better. And then obviously if we got one down there, cool. But as for now, we're damn near printing a big ass doji. So that'll definitely result in freaking chop. And and we won't know which direction we're going. We'll see this last little 10 seconds, see who fights and gets what they want. Looks like the buyers. And we got that close over the VWAP and we didn't quite get it over the value high, but that's kind of tightening, so we're consolidating. Again, they may keep it in this range. ATR went back down. Not the best of signs for the day, but like I said, FOMC is tomorrow, so today could just be a consolidation day, and then seeing what we're gonna do for FOMC, what's gonna happen. Yep, we print a lower fucking high right after that, then chop, chop city. Down, 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 down. All right. Yeah, but we're still kind of stuck under this 50. We haven't got like a defining close above it. But we did close above VWAP, so kind of hoping these bands expand again before we can actually. You can see how they kind of opened up, and then now they've closed back in, so tells me that we ain't going nowhere yet. Now you can play inside this, but good luck. I haven't. I haven't necessarily tried to research any plays inside of chop shit. I mean, the biggest thing is you could play at the top of the range and the bottom of the range, right? Oh, we sort of got like this deal going on. All right. This is kind of that range chop, and get to the top, you can kind of play it down. Get to the bottom, play it up. Um, you just kind of you gotta have some context with it. With this overnight low being at the bottom of the range, that kind of helps support bouncing right back up and then bouncing down off the high. Because we're literally stuck in between the high and the low right now. So if you get if you get down here and you get some bullish flags, then you can potentially try and play it up, get in, get out. It's just not my type of game. It's very risky. Here we are, we're approaching a trigger, possible activation. Alright, so here's that big close, right? Or, it ain't closed yet, but this is kind of like what I said, what I'm looking for. I'm kind of looking for a close somewhere around here, ideally. We still got 3 long minutes. This fucking thing can end up back up here, but we're in the zone. We just need to get to where they can kind of give us enough room to enter. Cause if it closes like right freaking here, then that don't leave us much room. But right here, this could be perfect. Go right here. But they also might be baiting that orb. They they love to do that. What is the orb at right now? 5, 10, 15-minute orb. Looking at like right here. See, they baited that orb up. Phew, dumped it. They're pretty good at baiting that orb down. Phew, push it back up. I don't really calculate the orb. I don't it doesn't play a part in what I do, but sometimes they be doing it. I also want a pretty solid candle, so like if we can get a good decent candle close, like I don't want it to close right here necessarily because that shows a lot of rejection. And we still have a minute to go, so I don't necessarily want to send it into the overnight low either. 30 seconds. See, we're almost to that orb low. Come on. 5 other targets, right? Yeah. See if we can get to yesterday's low. We mark out one more. Five seconds. Come on, give me right here. That's it's okay, I guess. It's okay, I guess. Alright. So stop. So now we're looking at see what kind of retest. Hopefully we get a retest, right? Play a retest right off that overnight low. Probably happen on the 1 minute, but ah. Let's see, did it happen on the one? No, didn't happen on the one either. It's alright. Yeah, see, so this is starting to get a wee. ATR is much higher though, so but this is starting to get too much, right? Because I don't want to do anything. I want at least 0.5. Right now, I ain't getting that. So this is a bit risky. And setting on the 1 minute is very risky too. Maybe we could just play with one share just to. Do a little scalpy scalp maybe. Because we ain't getting real good plays right now. Nothing's really opened up. I'll close it. Yeah, there we go. A little scout. Because it's there. It wants to happen. So right now, if we get another retest. Or a retest since we ain't really got one yet. Yeah, I predominantly use the 2 minute. Sometimes I'll use the 1 minute, but I predominantly use the 2 minute just because it gives you better momentum. It's not as wishy-washy as the 1 minute can be. So right now I'm still looking, see right here, bam. If we can get some sort of retest back up here, if we could stay around right here, this would give us plenty of room. ATR's at 63, so we really got we got enough room. We're still on this 5 minute, bam, so we still got time. It's right here. Maybe this will be our retest, maybe not. Hopefully so. But they did give us that 1 minute entry, right? Just below, just above. I usually start around like 5 because it doesn't end up being any more than that. Yeah, with this ATR rising, it's going to be biggest stop loss. More money, more problems. And if it becomes too much, then we don't play. It's getting close though. This might be a big ass retest. $15 seconds. Target one is 0.5 at least. Yeah, so might be taking this. If it's oh wait, I'm out on limit. Ooh, thank God I looked at that, huh? Alright, so bam, we'll do two. Sell one right here. Well, buy one technically. I don't think this is gonna happen though. But it's still not invalidated until way up there, so confirm. 609, 75, 611, 75, bam. I'll do one more down here. 555, 557. I usually go about 2 points. Like I said, everything's pretty calculated. I definitely go in more in depth in the 24-week class and the one-on-ones and everything with it. But now we have a potential trade. We just sit back and watch. See if we get that momentum back down. We're at 62, so 64 ATR. I need about 59, so this could potentially go where I want it to. Decent rejection sign. So maybe we get this a little bit deeper of a push. How much more do we need? So we pretty much broke trend at this point. All right, we're not. It should definitely trend in the other way. Go ahead and reverse this. I think we just got in. All right. Let me actually move this back like a little bit. Okay. See if we can get that continuation push, baby. Because we're in this thing now. See if we can go attack yesterday's low. $62. So volatility is a little bit up. Let's just see if we could get that push we want. I don't know if we'll get to TP2. Obviously, I don't know if we'll get to 1 either, but um, yesterday's low would be a hurdle. And this support, this previous, excuse me, this previous structure that we have. Come on, give me one push. Bam. All right. Let's move our stop loss. Break even. There's that immediate rejection off that low. Let's see if they can push through it. Bam, big rejection again. Let's come back up and retest. But this is a free trade. We're up, $100 something right now. And we're back at our stop loss, so we've already won for the day off of this trade. We're just gonna hope that we can go ahead and hit that second TP. And again, I only went in 2 contracts because there's a certain amount that I like to risk. And I mean, if you're willing to risk more, the more you get out of it, right? But we do have some good momentum. They did go attack that low. Let's see if we can keep getting more push and hit that TP2. 20 seconds. If you can get a close under yesterday's low, perfect. If you get a close somewhere up here, then that might be threatening this continuation down. And it looks like the buyers kind of grabbed that. So we may get a bigger push up. Sellers might say fuck you and just dump it. Let's see. Almost 70 ATR now, so ATR is definitely picking back up towards that 80 to 100 range, which is where MNQ usually lives at. This could also be another potential entry. Good little retest. Could look for another re-entry right here. It'd give you some space. $100 re-entry on one. See if we found our floor or not. Probably not gonna re-enter. I usually don't. Another green candle, doji. It's getting some rejection, trying to go up. Let's see. See if they can fight this back down. I hit TP2. But we may have found floor at the low. Let's see. Yeah, it's gonna be a decent little pullback, it looks like. I know I've seen strategies where they'll go 50% pullback and then they'll kind of start rejecting it right here. You can see it's kind of rejecting, but just depends on the market and what we get out of it. But it's definitely looked like it's getting rejected at that 50%. Or as my daughter like to say, pussing. But could still go back through it. Not everything is guaranteed. Still got 30 seconds on this candle. See, it's pushing. It's trying to push. I think we probably gonna get stopped out. But we won some, so win's a win. 8 seconds. See who wins this last little tug. Looks like buyers. Bam. Here she blows. Here she blows. I'm next. I'm next. No, don't do it to me. Not me. Take them. Take them, not me. Not me, not me. We next. Here she goes, right here. Ooh, they don't want it going back down, and then we out. All right, well, we got a dove. About 0.86. Win's a win. So yeah, not too shabby. At least we got to get one on the live. Let's move this over. Kind of show what we would did. Bam. See, we want it right there. So yeah, that's 2 for 2 today. We got 1.63. We got roughly 0.9. Here it goes with the dumpy dump. That'd be some shit. So yeah, bam, we got our short trigger activated. Got in. Caught a decent little move. It bounced literally right off of our structure that we found yesterday's low. 5 minutes. So yeah, you can see right here where there's a bit of a ceiling, or I guess a floor for this case. Um, that's some support to push it back up, resistance to keep it from going down. And yeah, it played out. A lot of people they won't move their stop loss until like TP1, but then that increases your targets versus your stop loss. So if your stop loss is longer, if you don't have at least like 2R, then if you just hit TP1 and then stop out, then you just made nothing. Because if it's 1-to-1, then you win one, you lose some, which you make an outlet, right? So that's why I always go back. I got to break even at the TP1. I just like to protect my green and keep it green. I ain't trying to lose it for nobody. So yeah, so now I mean it's just kind of a waiting game. I'm gonna clear some of this stuff out. Leave those since price ain't there yet. Let's see, we got another lower high has now a trigger. I meant a higher trigger, a long trigger. The fuck, a long trigger has formed lower, so we'll move that down. Kind of get some TP levels for it. That would be TP right there. And for another short to develop, that's going to take some time. So I think I'm going to call it there. I'll keep an eye out on the market. If you want to learn this strategy, man, just y'all hit me up. Like I said, we go more in depth in the 24-week class. I do live with everyone and kind of do this live. I don't really go into detail as much, but you kind of get to see me do it live and how this is possible to still be able to execute everything while live. You got plenty of time to, move around and get yourself set up. So it's a viable strategy. Like I said, we're 2 for 2 on the day. Hit one yesterday. I don't remember if I got that marked out or not, or if I accidentally deleted it. But yeah, we're looking good for the week so far. We started the week pretty hot. Um, FOMC's tomorrow, so be careful out there. Shit do get real. Um, but let's make this money. Peace.